I'm here with Virginia Hume. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
We have her previous, and then we have an advanced copy.
Yes.
When?
March 5th, Cinco de Mayo.
Oh,
has
good.
absolutely nothing to do with Mexico, but that's a handy way to remember when it comes out. So Liberty Island, which is set in the same fictional summer community that was in Haven Point, my debut. So.
What is it about Maine?
So it's Liberty Island is the name. Well, it's the name of my book. It's also the name of a book within it. And that's published, fictitious, but published in 1900, a novel for girls that breaks all the rules, meaning it does not teach girls to be docile and domestic and pious and pure. And it's told from the perspective of the aunt who wrote it and her niece who inspired it as a little girl. So it's dual narratives, dual timelines, the aunt's story and the niece's story. And it's about their relationship with the summer community, Haven Point, and this island, their attitudes towards it and how that changes over time. So it's another family saga. Aunts, under-celebrated, I think, in fiction. Aunts and uncles, I think they deserve some love. So,
after this and when you came here, you were very supportive and I did not get to attend the lecture, but my wife took notes on the books that you would use to inspire your creative process. Can you tell me about that, getting to that first creative process for your first?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Because you had a couple of books that you had recommended, and
yes, there was one in particular that I know I recommended then called, oh, I know what the other one would be too. So one is called Do the Work by Steven Pressfield.
Yes.
And
we get it.
It's a wonderful book and it's short. And what Steven Pressfield does that I feel like nobody else does is he understands what stops people, because he's somebody who really struggled with his creative demons for a long, long time. He's very candid about this. And he wrote The Legend of Bagger Vance, which was also made into a film. And he talks about resistance, what gets in our way of finishing some creative endeavor. And he almost treats it as, he almost personifies it.
Right.
It's like this force. And I like that because it makes it something outside yourself that you're fighting against, rather than, worrying about your own, what's wrong with me?
Yes.
Instead, it's, oh, this is resistance. It's like, this is Bill, who just makes things hard all the time or whatever. And I found that extremely helpful. It's just a great message. And I read it at just an incredibly opportune time, I think, when I needed a boost, and I think that really helped me get through.
What's your time frame on getting this one done versus this one?
Okay, so this took forever. It was a side hustle, and plus I didn't know how to write novels.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so there was that thing about
you are an expert.
Actually, this one took a really long time too.
Okay.
So I'm evidently never going to be like Ellen Hildebrand and get a book out every year, because this was supposed to come out in 2024, and it's coming out in 2026. So this one took forever, partly because it was a side hustle.
Right.
I had a job and kids, and I mean, I still have kids, but they're in their 20s now. This one I wrote on a contract. So you don't normally do that in publishing. Well, sometimes people who are writing in like a specific genre might get a 2-book deal.
Yeah.
That wasn't that, but I sold it on an outline. And so I turned it in, and my editor said, I think I want something more like the first one. So,
Thanks.
and evidently that happens really frequently. A friend of mine who writes, the same publisher but a different imprint, took out 3 weeks later, had the exact same thing happen. She had told them, I've written these kinds of domestic thrillers. This one's a little bit more procedural, but they said, okay, like the outline, she turned it in. They said, we want something more like the first couple.
But you gave you the outline.
You gave them the outline, but you know what, here's the thing. If your publisher doesn't like it, if your editor doesn't like it, then, well, first of all, they don't have to accept it.
Right.
And second of all, they're not gonna, I mean, even if you manage to fight for it somehow, they're not gonna put any shoulder behind it. And at the time when we had the conversation, she said what she didn't like about it. And we took out an entire narrative, and kind of the plot went with it. So that was a problem, take out the climax of the novel. And she said, well, what's your response? And I don't get overwrought about things like this. And I said, well, I believe you as a verb, meaning I didn't quite feel what she was saying, but she's really good And I will tell you, once we finally got this together, this version of Liberty Island, and she didn't know exactly where this was going to go.
Yeah.
She's just working on her own
Yeah.
sensibilities. Dead right about everything. She
That's
was
good.
I am so blessed because I think another editor might have trotted
Yeah.
out what I originally wrote. And this is better. It just is, it coheres a lot better around the themes. I think in many ways it's more interesting. And it wound up being kind of fun to write. I mean, writing about books and attitudes about girls. I'm a product of girls' school education. I was a huge reader. It was my salvation because I was a horrible student,
Right.
but a voracious reader. And it's about girls and imagination and about how imagination, the power of imagination, and the importance of imagination and helping women, and a lack of imagination that I think held women back for a long time. So,
You got one last thing. You got some snazzy covers here with nice,
thank you.
with nice waterfront seats. How was it like to
you.
see the cover match to the story?
Oh my gosh, it was so fantastic. Because authors don't technically have any
Did you get
say.
Did you get any say?
Well, I did. I mean, so with Haven Point, they did ask me what kind of cover I imagine.
Because I want to be there, right?
Totally want to be there. They asked me what I had in mind myself.
Yeah.
No guarantees, because authors can have
Yes.
lunatic ideas about covers, and we're not the marketing experts. And they sent me two, and I did tell them what I didn't like. I said, I don't want the photograph of the woman from behind with the hat walking away with the suitcase into the sunset, or sitting in the Adirondack chair with the hat.
Yes.
And so I had, or the photograph of the house, or the whatever. So they did send me two different ideas, and one was this, and one was a photograph. So it was basically saying that, and pretending I had a choice when the other one was exactly what I told them I didn't want. So of course this ended up being the cover. This one is a fantastic story because this is actually a licensed image from a Maine artist named Alan Claude. And they sent me the full version. This is just there's a horizontal version of this, and he is a digital artist, very well known. He has a studio in Gardner, Maine. He's a lovely, lovely person and really talented. And I assumed when I got it, I said, "Oh, I must have told them about Alan Claude."
Oh yeah.
Because I knew, and he does these calendars that people have, and he's T-shirts and then these beautiful, beautiful, really archival quality prints that he sells in the studio. And so I went and looked because I thought that must be how they knew about him, was from me. I'd never mentioned him before. They just came upon this and licensed his cover. So I finally met him. I hadn't met him in person before, so I met him last summer. And that's unusual. I mean, I never met, you don't meet the cover designers for your book.
I'm sure he's happy too.
He's really happy, and he's just so nice.
Oh,
he's
that's
such a
great.
wonderful person, and he has done wonderful things for his little town in Maine. And so I did send him an advanced reader copy of this, and he's got gorgeous work. Alan Claude Galleries, people should go have a look because it's beautiful. He's very talented. So
Thank you very much.
thank you. Nice speaking
Nice
with
meeting
you.
you too.
Appreciate it.